records are inserted, no issue. If all the records are not inserted, no issue. When only partial work is done, then we have an issue. Which of them are successful, which of them are failure. To understand this, we have to go for what is non-atomic, how do you implement non-atomic, how do you track the errors in the non-atomic. That's what we need to understand. So let us build these examples now. If you go with the insert keyword, it is atomic. If I go with the methods of database class, database.insert, it gives you non-atomic, atomic, non-atomic, atomic, non-atomic. Then, if it is a non-atomic, how do you track the status? Which is success, which is failure? This is what we are going to understand now. We have a predefined class called database.error. First, we'll understand what is this database.error. Error is a this class is defined error is a predefined Apex class. This class is defined in the database. This class contains errors that are generated during the DML operation. What are the methods we have? The error that is generated during the DML operation. Next, get fields. This will return list of fields on which error is generated. Then we have database.save result. What is this database.save result? Save result is a predefined Apex class. This is defined in the namespace of database. This class contains result or the status of the DML operation. Insert, update. Now, methods. First one. Is success. When you made a DML operation, is it a success or a failure? If the DML operation is success. If the DML operation is failure. Then similarly, get ID. If the DML operation is successful, it will give the ID of the record on which the DML is successful. When you are making a DML, there has to be a success or a failure. If it is a success, a record is created successfully, we are going to get the ID of the record. If it is failure, it will give you error message. Either it should be a success or a failure. Get ID. Get errors. List of errors. Get errors. This will return list of errors that are generated during DML operation. Is success. This will return true if the DML operation is success. Get ID. This will return true if ID of the record on which DML is performed. This will return the ID of the record on which the DML is performed. Get errors. This will return list of errors that are generated during the DML operation. So we have is success, get ID, get errors. We have is success, get ID, get errors. This is what we are getting here. So we have database.error, database.save result. So we have is success, get ID, get errors. Is success, get ID, get errors. These are the two classes we have. Let us take one example using this. So at the end of the game, we want to check out whether the DML is success or a failure. Because it's a non-atomic, some of the records are success, some of the records are failure. Which records are success, which are failure, that's what we want to understand. Now I give then we are giving DML operation. Let us take this. Database dot save result. Database dot insert accounts. If I give true, it is, if I give here true, it is atomic. If I give here false, non-atomic. If I give here true, atomic. If I give here false, non-atomic. So database.insert accounts false. If I give false, non-atomic. If I give true, atomic. If I give false, non-atomic. If I give true, atomic. So you have a choice to run the operation as atomic or non-atomic. You have a choice to run the operation as atomic or non-atomic. If I say false, non-atomic. If I say true, atomic. Now, every record will have one save result. When I am making a DML, on every record we are going to have one save result. So when I say database.insert account false, on every record one save result we are going to get. On every record we are going to get one save result. On every record one save result. When you are making a DML on a group of record, we are going to get a list of save result. When you are making a DML on a group of record, we are going to get a list of save result. When you are making a DML on a group of record, we are getting a list of save result. Are you getting my point? Okay. Now look at this. Database dot save result. Now how do you know it's a success or a failure? We have if it is success, failure, get the errors. If it is success, get the ID. If it is failure, database dot get errors. If it is success, get the ID. If it is failure, get the errors. Success, get the ID. If it is a failure, database dot get errors. Get the list of errors. Take one by one error. Check out the code. What did I do? From the list of save result, one by one save result I have taken. I verified if it is a success or a failure. SR dot is success. If the DML is success, get the ID of the record. If the DML is failure, then get the errors. Is it a success or error? Why I was doing this? Because the operation is running as non-atomic. Because the operation is running as non-atomic. As the operation is running as non-atomic, I am not sure whether all the records are success, all the records are failure, or any one of the record is success or a failure. I have to check the status and know which of them are success, which of them are failure. Go back and see. What was that? ACC. Where is that ACC I give? This is not database dot get errors. It is supposed to be SR dot get errors. Now we had ID of the record. ID of the record. First record successful. Second record failed because name field is missing. So successful record, one failure record. It's a non-atomic. If any one of the record fail, only that particular record will fail. Rest of the operation will be successful. When I go with database dot insert list of S object, comma, false. When you want to make it as atomic, you simply give true. When you give it as atomic, simply give. Right, boss? Am I clear with this? People have followed? Cross check. Cross check the code. Cross check the code. Anyone has any query on this code? Yeah, go ahead.
Can I explain that else part?
Now,
while that for loop
if the
will
yeah, now what is the guarantee that there will be only one error? DML failed. Okay, what may be the reasons? There may be one reason or multiple number of reasons. Let us say name field is required, email field is required, industry field is required. All the three fields you are not entered. Then what we are going to get? Required field missing, or name field missing, phone field missing, industry field missing. Let us see. How many errors you are getting? 3 errors. Now I don't know how many errors you are going to get. There is a reason I told database dot get errors, like ESR dot get errors. Now it may be one or two or more than. Each error is database dot error. If more than one error is coming, array of database dot error. Then how do you take one by one element from a list? Write a for loop. That's what I have done. Clear, boss? Got it? Am I clear with that? Exactly. Now, array and list, while using any difference except size, only the size is the difference. We can replicate, we can substitute one in another location. People have followed this online. Is your queries clarified?
we can use list
Exactly.
in the instead of
Yeah,
array. You can use list also, correct?
exactly. I can also use a list. I told you, in place of array, wherever you're using array, you can also go with a list. List array can be replaced with a list. No issue with that. Okay. I hope you are good
Okay.
with this. Let us go to the.
Okay. I got a query. Now this, database dot error, will it be applicable only for insert, or can we use it for
All the
updates?
errors I told, database.error is generated while DML operations perform. Database.save result is generated when you go for insert or update. Save result will work for insert and update. Error is common for entire the DML operation. For entire DML operation, database.error is common. Database.save result will work only when you go for insert or update. Because when you go to delete, database.delete result. When you go to upset, database.upset result. When you go to undelete, database.undelete. For insert and update, save result. Delete, delete result. Okay, undelete, undelete result. Okay, upset, upset result. Merge, merge result. I hope you're good. Clear, boss? So I'll give you points here. Database dot database dot delete false for non-atomic. Delete, undelete, merge result.
Sudesh, I have one question.
Yes.
So as you said that get fields, okay, in the error part. So will that also give the IDs because there when we do an
See,
update?
when you give fields, it is going to give list of fields on which error has occurred. Because of which field error has occurred. Here's a question. When you say get fields, what will be written? When you say get fields, do not give all the fields of the object. It give the list of fields because of which the DML failed. Now the DML operation failed because you have not entered the name. It will give you a name field. DML failed because of the validation rule what we give. So it gives you list of fields. The list of fields because of which the DML operation failed. the list of field because of which the DML operation failed, that list of fields are given. So it will give you list of fields because of which the DML operation failed.
Got it. So, my concern was whether I'll get the IDs in error message also.
It
Like,
only gives name of the field on which error has occurred. It is not going to give you anything you want. It only give you name of the field on which error has occurred.
so if I want to take the IDs, then this is not the correct thing.
Exactly.
Correct? Like,
Now the same question you're asking in a different way. I told it gives you only name of the field on which error has occurred. Right. Now the primary point, look at the point, boss. If it is insert, error has occurred in the insert. Will you get an idea of the record? Obviously no. When the DML failed,
No.
you will not get the ID. So there is no question about ID when you go for insert. When you are making insert, DML failed, you will not get an ID. Second thing,
Correct. Yeah.
you go for update. When you go for the update, already existing record, ID will be there. Now we already have a method call. Get ID. What get ID will do? What that get ID will do? Will give the ID of the record. Now on whichever the record you are performing a DML, you get the ID of the record. Now you are performing a delete. When you are performing a delete, then what happened? Already existing record. If it is already existing, what will happen? ID will be there. There is a get ID, ID will come. When you are upsetting the record, on which record? Upsetting. If it is an update, ID will come. If it is a create, ID will not come. You are going for a merge. Which record you are merging? Existing record only you are merging. You are not creating a new record. Existing record. We have a method called get ID, which will give the ID of the record. So when ID is of the record is there straight away we have a method called get ID. Right? So you check is success, failure, get the ID of the record, say this record failed. Simply use is success. If the DML is success, then okay, no problem. Failed, get ID, get the ID of the record. When is this? If it is not an insert. If it is an insert, obviously you don't get that ID. Right?
Got it. Thank you.
Right. Now, this is how we're getting. So delete result, undelete result, upset result, merge result. Now, I'll give the next example. If you are making a merge, it can be insert or it can be an update. If you are making a merge, it can be insert or it can be update. In that case, we need to understand. If you are giving insert, we are going to give insert or update. If it is an insert, we are going to give update or insert. It is an insert or update. So when I say it's insert or update, we want to find out whether it's insert or update. It is a success, but success by creating a insert or by updating the record. When you said upset, you want to know whether it's an insert or a update. Look at this. We are going to perform. Again, it opened somewhere. What is the operation we have? Upset. List of record, external ID field, all or none. All means true, all or none means false. Okay. Now we want to understand this example. Now what is this external ID? How will you get external ID? Let us go for this. I'll try to create one external ID field, let us say account. Customize account, new number. So here we have external now. Look at this. Go to the account object. Let me take existing record, my ID. So we have created this. Let's go back. My ID is 1. So I gave upset accounts comma. What is the name? External ID field? So I'll also give one extra record which is a failure. So when you say upset, first one is already existing, ID 5. This is already existing ID. This is not existing. And third one is error message. So one success, one update, one create. Then what I have taken? Upset result. Now, if it is success, get the ID. If it is success, get the ID. Then, if it is success, I want to find out is it update or insert. SR dot is create. Now, why I was giving? Because he said upset. Upset means it can be an insert or it can be an update. Now, look at this. When you say upset, we want to find out whether it's an insert or an update. So we are going to get upset result. Where was that upset result? Then look at the methods what we have. In the upset result, get errors, get ID is created. If it is not created, then we are going to get errors. What was that? The mistake. If it is not created, obviously it is going to be updated. Now let us go execute it. Column number 5. Where is the 5? Line number 13. 13. Account 3. Okay. Line number 21. Where was 21? Semicolon missing. Variable does not exist. My ID. The reason is I already opened a developer console, then I created a field. After opening the developer console, I created a field, so the field is not recognized. Close the developer console, open it. Oops. What is the field I created? My ID __ C. My ID __ C. My ID __ C. My ID __ C. Variable does not exist. Where is that variable was? Right. Let us go back. So we got record updated, record inserted. Right. Then we have my ID is not specified. Error message. Okay. Now let me make it one more point here. We are expecting a different type of error. We received a different type of error. So let me make it here. Execute. Record updated, record inserted, record fill missing. This is what we got here. So if it is an upset, we want to find out whether it's an insert or update or error. If it's an update, either update or insert or error. So what we have is success, is created, get errors, get ID. Did you get my point? Save results will have get ID, is success, get errors. Update will have is success, get ID, get errors. Delete will have is success, get ID, get errors. Okay. Undelete will have is success, get ID, get errors. If it is upset, then we have a concept of is success, is created, errors. I hope you are clear. So look at the point. Upset is a combination of what? Upset is a combination of insert and let me give you this. Do the people follow my points? Am I clear with that? So upset is a combination of insert and update. Similarly, when you go to the merge is a combination of update and delete. So when you say upset, insert plus, when you say merge, update plus. Now child records are reassigned. That's nothing but update. Parent record is deleted. So one of the record is deleted, rest of the records are updated. So what is that? It's a update plus delete. Upset, insert plus update. Merge, update plus delete. Now let us go back and see what are the functionalities we have in the merge. merge result. When you go to this, get ID, get merged record IDs, updated record IDs, success. So what was this? First is success, get ID, get error. Now which records are updated? Which record is deleted? IDs of the records merged into master record. Which account A, okay, account 1, account 2. Account 2 is merged to account 1. Account 2 is merged to account 1. That is the ID of the records merged into master record. Account 2 is merged into account 1. So it is going to give the ID of account 2. Now child records are reassigned to parent 1. So it is going to give get updated related list. When you say merge, get me the child, okay, get me the child records which are updated. Get me the child records which are updated. Second one, get me the ID of the record which is merged into master record. Now methods are what? Is success, get ID, get errors. Which record is merged into master record? Which child records are updated to new parent? That's what we are going to get here. Right. Now listen carefully, boss. Very, very, very important point. Try to understand this. Very important point. Your option finding here, all or none is true or false. All or none is true or false. But here you are finding an extra function here. What was it? DML option. DML options. Go back to this. Insert DML options you will find. Try to get this point. What is this DML option and how do you convert the link? Okay. So here, what is this DML option? First, let us see what will be this. What was that? DML option. Do you want to insert the data by using any assignment rules? Or do you want to check any duplicate rules or email header? So what are the DML options here? Allow field truncation. Boss, while inserting the data, the length of the field is 20 characters, but the data is 40 characters what we give. Now what happened? Obviously DML will fail. Now do you want to go for field truncation? Now the data what you are expecting is 20 characters. The data what I entered is 80 characters. Now obviously length of the data is more, DML will fail. Boss, when you are making a DML, allow the field truncation. Then what I will do? Allow field truncation. The next one we have assignment rules. If you are inserting the data, if you are inserting a lead or a case, you want to use the assignment rules and decide who is the owner, then we go for assignment rule header. Then email header, right? If you want to send emails, then we go for email header. Local option. Now specify the language, opt all or none. So all these are what? DML option. One of the DML option is all or none, which is nothing but we are giving true or false. One of the DML option what we are using to make a DML operation. Basically, DML is this. We are making a DML is this. This is the DML. But here we are adding the extra points here. What was the point here? All or none. Or else you want to go for allow field truncation. Or you want to apply any assignment rules. I hope you got my point. Whenever a new lady is assigned, based on the assignment rules, decide who should be the owner of the record. To do that, programmatically also, we can make assignment rules run active. Now, I'll make an example here to tell you. Setup, build, customize, lead. We have assignment rules. If city equal Hyderabad, assign the student as owner. Now I am inserting the data. Who is the owner? Satish. At the bottom, what we have? Assign using active assignment rule. Because I selected this, assignment rules are running. This manually we are creating it. Who is the owner of the record? Student. Who created the record? Satish. Same thing, programmatically, how do you create? Same thing, how do you create this programmatically? This is manually I have created. I selected the checkbox called enable the assignment rules. Now, whatever the assignment rules are there, those assignment rules should run while I am inserting the record using program also. Now, if it is a manual, I am going to the record. At the bottom, we have a checkbox. We are enabling the checkbox because of which assignment rule is running, owner is decided. While you are inserting the data using a programmatical format, how do you ensure that assignment rules are running? How do you ensure that assignment rules are running? By using this DML option. Did you get my point? If I don't select this checkbox, then who is the owner of the record? If I want to make the owner of the record, let us say Hyderabad also. Still, who is the owner of the record? Satish. If I select this checkbox, assign using active assignment rules, who is the owner of the record? Student. The same story, I want to make it. Whenever we are inserting a lead or a case, based on the assignment rules, I want the owner should be decided. Then how will you run it? Programmatically, while you are inserting the data, based on the assignment rules, I want the owner of the record to be decided. Then I will go for DML options. What is the one of the DML option we have? One of my DML option what I have is one of the DML option what I have? Assignment rule header. If I go with assignment rule header, database dot DML options dot assignment rule header. If I go to this, get the assignment rule, get the assignment rule, get the assignment rule, and assign to this. If you pass the ID of the assignment rule here, then I will be able to get this. Are you getting my point here? Are you getting my point? Did you follow the purpose of this? Purpose of this, we have manually, we are selecting the checkbox and assigning the owner of the record for a lead. But if you are going for a programmatic access, how do you run it? How do you run it? To do this, we have allow options. So let me show you that class. Right. DML option, use default rule. What is the value here? Use default rule. No, I don't want to use a default rule. I want to pass a specific rule here. Look at this setup. I want to use this testing, write a query, get the ID. Or else, if you have a rule, specific rule, when you say default, whatever the default uses by default, one rule will be active. Whatever the rule you have given, based on the rule ID, we are going to get the owner of the record. So use a default ID. Use a default ID. Use a default ID. Are you getting my point here? Are you getting my point here? Are you getting my point here? Clear? Okay. The same thing here we are giving here. What is that? DM assignment rule. We can also give the idea of the assignment rule. Then we can say database dot insert account comma database dot insert account comma database dot insert account comma a DML option. Now let me give you. I hope you are following my points. Okay, let me show you one example. Who is the person who is inserting the record? Satish is inserting. It's equal to whatever. Insert. We have created a record called Smith. Go back. Smith record is inserted. Who is the owner of the record? I hope you are good. Right? The same story we can give it as database dot insert lead L comma DMO. What they're asking? What is the option they're asking? DML option assignment rule header. Assignment rule header. Assign the value and pass it. Assignment rule header equal to. Right, boss? What did I do? Create an option DMO database.dml option. In that we have a variable called assignment rule header. Either we can give default rule equal to true or assignment ID. Any one of the ID of the assignment rule. Are you clear? Either you can take a default active rule or you can take any one of the specific rule and assign the record. I hope you are good with this. So basically what was this? While we are inserting the data programmatically, on what basis you are saying the owner of the record is assigned. When you are inserting the data programmatically, when you are inserting the data into lead or a case, only for a lead and a case, while you are inserting the data based on the existing assignment rules, I want to decide who should be the owner of the record. Then we will go for this option. That is one of the DML option. I hope you are good. Okay. Let us go to the next point. How do you empty the recycle bin? If you want to empty the recycle bin, we have database dot whatever the list of records you want to remove. When you say database dot delete, the records will go to recycle bin. You want to delete the records from recycle bin also, then we say database dot empty recycle bin. If you delete the record, they will go to recycle bin. If you want to delete the record from the recycle bin also, then we say database dot empty recycle bin. Right. I hope you are clear with this. How do you empty? Database dot empty recycle bin. I hope the name itself convey what they are. I'm not giving much explanation on it. Empty recycle bin. When you delete, records will go to recycle bin. From recycle bin also I want to delete it. Database dot empty recycle bin. I hope you're good. Fine. Let us go. Next one. Transaction control statement, which are nothing but save point and rollback. Transaction control statement, which are nothing but save point and rollback. Now, let me give you a basic example here. Let us go to the next example, transaction control. Now I have this is my database. Try to get my points. I have account object, contact object. Contact. This is what I did. Now I created save point sp equal to database dot set save point. Now when you say database dot set save point, right now at this moment whatever the data was there, right now at this moment whatever the data was there, the data was considered as save point. Right now at this moment whatever the data is there, the data is considered as a save point. Now this is the data what I have. This is the data what I have. So this data is referred as SP. This data is referred as SP. Then what I'm doing, I'm trying to insert a new record, insert a contact record. Then I made list of accounts. Accounts a dot phone equal to I made this. Then I executed this code. When I executed this code, what happened? ch this is what I had done. Then DML operation, fetch all the records, make the changes. This is what happened. I executed a program. Then I told roll back to SP. Rollback test means was after creating the save point, whatever the changes I have made, undo all the changes. I told rollback SP. After creating the save point, whatever the changes I have made on the database, undo all the changes. Now undo all the changes means at the time of creating a data, okay, at the time of creating a save point, what is the data we had? What is the data we have? What is the data we have? We had only this is the data whatever. Rollback means cancel all the operations, whatever we have done after creation of save point SP. After the creation of SP, save point SP, whatever the changes are done, undo all those changes. That means at the time of creating a save point SP, whatever the data was there, replace your database with the same data. At the time of creating a save point, whatever the data we have, replace entire your database with the same data. What happened? Now again, data was replaced with the same. At the time of creating a save point, whatever the data was created, whatever the data was available in database, replace the current database with the same. Roll back. Undo all the changes that are made after the transaction. After the creation of save point, whatever the changes you have done, undo all those changes, come back to the old database. Are you getting my point? Right. So tell me one scenario where we can use it. So my requirement is, listen carefully. Did you get the concept of save point and rollback? If you create a save point, at the time of creating a save point, whatever the database we have, the database is referred as save point. Then when I say make some changes on it, when you say rollback, whatever the changes you made after creating the save point, everything will be lost. Now, as of now, we discussed 2 points, atomic or non-atomic. Now, public void show. So it's a transaction. In the transaction, how many DMLs can be there? Now, all of them are atomic or non-atomic, or every statement is atomic or non-atomic? Now I told insert. This insert will run as atomic or, okay. When I say this, I have to say this statement is atomic or non-atomic. When you say update, atomic or non-atomic. This statement is atomic or non-atomic. Now, every DML statement will be atomic or non-atomic. But my question is, I don't want to look at that DML wise. All the DMLs in the transaction should run or should not run. Now, as of now, whatever we discussed, what is it? Insert. Okay. Now, if you look at this, now what is this? Whether this statement is, when I make every DML statement, in this DML statement is atomic or non-atomic. Every statement we say atomic or now in this statement is atomic or non-atomic. Every DML statement we say atomic or non-atomic. But what I want to do, I don't want to look at statement level, I want to look at transaction level. This entire transaction, all of them, I want to say, boss, you want all these DMLs to be atomic or non-atomic. You want all the DML statements within the loop to perform or not to perform. Either all the DML should be success or none of the DML should be success. Either all the DML should be success or none of the DML should be success. Now when you say atomic, when I'm making a DML on a group of account, insert all the accounts, don't insert all the accounts. Group of opportunities, update all the opportunities, don't update any one of the opportunity. But what I'm saying now, insert all the records, update all the contacts, or else don't do anything. I want every DML in this statement to be success or none of the DML statements in this transaction to be success. There I go with a transaction control called save point and rollback. I hope you're good. Are you good with this? Once again I repeat, question mark in the faces. Now tell me, we say this as atomic. What does it mean? All the records will be inserted or none of the records are inserted. Now in this, what is this? Now, every statement is independently atomic or non-atomic. This is separate, this is separate. Now, I want to say, both the DML should be success or none of the DML should be success. How will you implement it? When I say insert account, any one of the account record fail, all the records will fail. When any one of the contact record fail, all the contacts will fail. All the contacts will fail. But what is my requirement? What is my requirement? My requirement is to tell you, boss, either all of them should be success, none of them should be success. Not only accounts, all the accounts and contacts should be success, none of the accounts and contacts should be success. So it is not individual DML, group of DML which you want to consider. There I go for transaction control statement. I hope you are good. So let me give you. I hope people follow this point. Am I clear with this? Now look at this. First I am creating a save point. Database dot save point. Last name is a mandatory field. Last name is mandatory. Satish. Now, I am not using save point. Without save point, I am running it. Now tell me, what will happen? Account is inserted successfully. Contact failed. When the contact failed, what happens? It comes to system.debug. Now, which record will be inserted successfully? Account will be inserted successfully, right? Account will be inserted while executing the contact. There is a problem. So contact failed. Account will be success. Now in this case, what happened? Account was success. Contact was failure. But what I am saying, if contact failed, account should also fail. If contact failed, account should also fail. That means both the DML should be success. None of the DML should be success. That's why I told save point. If contact failed, I told database dot roll back. Why? When I will go to catch, if any one of the statement in the try fail, I'll come to catch. If any one of the statement in the try failed, entire DML should fail. All the DML should fail. If any one of the DML failed, all the DML should fail. Now when I do this, execute. Go back and see testing DML record is inserted or not. Did you get the testing DML record? No. So what happened? What does it mean? Even the account has failed. Even the account has failed. Suppose I remove this rollback. If I remove the rollback, what happened? DML testing success. But look at the contact. So whichever the statements are success, they are success. Whichever are failure, they are failure. But what I want to say, I want entire transaction to be success or entire transaction to be failure. Then I am going to use a save point and a rollback. I hope you are good with this. Okay. Finally, what is the purpose of the DML? DML is to perform insert, update, delete, undelete, merge. So what are the operations we are going to perform was? Merge operation, right, and upset. Now operation will be atomic or database dot give true Then we have assignment rules. This is for only lead and right. Similarly, we have database dot this is how we create. Update, delete, undelete, merge, upset, empty, recycle bin. These are the operations. All these are what? Non-atomic or atomic. False, non-atomic, true, atomic. But if I go to this keyword, all these are what? Atomic. So what are the transaction statements we have got? Save point. I hope you are good. Am I clear with this? Clear for everyone? This is what we have done. So that's all from my end.